Welcome to the 2017-2018 Talawanda Butler Tech FFA Banquet. This is our 61st banquet. I'm Justin Beckner, Vice President-elect. With me is Dakota Kiefer, Student Advisor-elect. Thank you all for sharing in the most important night of our year and one of the largest events at Talawanda High School.
Since 1957, the Talawanda FFA chapter has honored its members at its annual banquet. But our members would not be able to accomplish anything without the support from the community, the alumni, the teachers and administration in the school, and most importantly, our parents. From all of us that have worn this jacket for the past 61 years, thank you.
As is tradition, we will start the banquet with the reciting of the FFA Creed, written in 1930 by E.M. Tiffany. This year's creed will be recited by Haley Pittman, who finished second in sub-districts, first in districts, and fourth in the entire state of Ohio.
I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturalists, and the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. I believe that to live and work on a good farm, or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits, is pleasant as well as challenging. For I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life, and hold an inborn fondness for those associations which, even in hours of discouragement, I cannot deny. I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturalists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less dependence in begging and more power in bargaining, in the life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so, for others as well as myself, in less need for charity and more of it when needed, in being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. I believe that American agriculture can and will stand true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. Thank you.
It is now our pleasure to introduce to you, for their final appearance, the 2017-2018 Talawanda FFA Officer Team.
Our treasurer, Kendall Haven.
I was taking a bath long about a Saturday night. Yeah. Rubbed up, just relaxing in the tub, thinking everything was alright. Well, I stepped out the tub, put my feet on the floor. I wrapped the towel around me and I opened the door. And in a splish splash, I jumped back in the bath. Well, how was I to know there was a party?
Our student advisor, Eric Glab.
Our secretary, Wally Mingus.
Wait till I give my money right. I had a dream I could buy my way to heaven. When I awoke, I spent that on a necklace. I told God I'll be back in a second. Man, it's so hard not to act reckless. To whom much is given, much is tested. Get arrested, guess until he get the message. I feel the pressure under more scrutiny.
Our reporter, Caroline Vondahar.
This is all hands on deck. Calling out to lost boys and girls. I'm getting tired of the disrespect. We won't stop till we rule the world. It's our time, we on next. Our sails about to be set. They ain't seen nothing yet. Tell them who's in charge so they don't forget. What's my name? What's my name?
Our Sentinel, Emily Jones.
Hey, I've been driving all over the town on my cell phone, wearing it out, and I finally tracked you down. Hey, everybody says you're the man, the final piece to my...
Our Vice President, Sarah Allen.
Stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? Bitch, I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the jeweler. I put rocks all in my watch. I like Texas from my exes.
And our 2017-2018 Talawanda Butler Tech FFA President, Jacob Schulte.
Don't you dare go running down my little town where I grew up, and I won't cuss your city lights. If you ain't ever took a ride around and cruised right through the heart of my town, anything you say would be a lie. We may live our lives a little slower, but that don't mean I wouldn't be proud to show you where I come from. There's an old plowboy out turning up dirt where I come from. There's a preacher man in a cowboy shirt where I come from. Where a couple boys fight in the parking lot. No, nobody's gonna call the cops where I come from. See ya.
The banquet hall will come to order. We are now holding a special banquet meeting of the Talawanda Butler Tech FFA chapter. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. This Sentinel,
Stationed by the door.
your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington,
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn,
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The student advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being elected by the rest of you, I'm asked to advise from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice is always based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over the meeting room in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we shall follow the leadership of our president, We shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will now call the roll of members.
Mr. President, I am pleased to announce that there are 354 distinguished guests, family, friends, and members of the FFA registered at the 61st Annual FFA Talent FFA Banquet.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership that an FFA membership possess. May we accomplish our purposes, I now declare this banquet meeting of the Talawanda Butler Tech FFA chapter duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the awards portion of our banquet. I hope you all have enjoyed the food and are ready to see some of the highlights of this past year. Personally, it's been an honor to be up here on stage with my fellow officers and to be the leader of the largest student organization that Talawanda High School has to offer. In the past year, our chapter has continued to succeed in its goal in creating leaders out of its members, helping our local community, and continuing to leave our mark at both the state and national levels. This year, our members broke a chapter record of donating over $1,200 to charity. We've also returned to being ranked in the top 10% of chapters in the state of Ohio. We've successfully won 2 more banners for our school and have a total of 4 members becoming American degree recipients. Thanks to the support from our chapter alumni, the local community, former Ag Advisors J and Z, and many more, this year has truly been one for the records. Before we get on to the awards, I would now like to welcome Matt Butterfield, President-elect, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you, Jake. Good evening, everyone. I would like to sincerely thank all of you for coming out to the Talawanda FFA's 61st Annual Banquet tonight. I hope you have enjoyed everything so far, especially the awesome food. Our banquet committee has worked hard and done a great job with everything. It is my pleasure to serve as your incoming 2018-2019 Talawanda Butler Tech FFA Chapter President, and I am very thankful for this opportunity. I look forward to working with the new team starting at the conclusion of this banquet, and I'm very excited to build upon what our previous officers have done. There is something I want to say to instill in my fellow FFA members, officers, and previous officers, as many are beginning the next chapter of their life. Back at home, there is a paper that my father has hung up in our barn. Part of it reads this: "Think big and your deeds will grow. Think small and you'll fall behind. Think that you can and you will. It's all in the state of mind." Life's winnings don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or later the man who wins is the fellow who thinks he can. Ladies and gentlemen, these words are what I strive to live by each and every day, and I encourage you to do your best no matter what it is. That is my message for everyone here tonight. Thank you for your time, and again, thank you for coming out tonight. I now welcome my father, Mark Butterfield, to give the parent remarks.
Thank you, Matt. I was hoping I'd get to run down the aisle and jump out the center, but when I made that suggestion, Matt said, "No, we can't do that for you, Dad." So this is as good as it gets here. It's an honor for me tonight to be talking to you here as a proud father. My family for many generations has been dedicated to agriculture, whether it be farming, raising livestock, showing cattle, lambs, show pigs, FFA, 4-H. Basically anything that could happen in the country, we were interested in it. I was always hopeful that both Matthew and Lauren, my daughter, would share that same passion as they grew up. I've been blessed with two wonderful children who've had success in livestock, but more importantly, the opportunity to experience the great people along the way. My wife, Nicole, and I have always believed there's nothing better that you can do to help install the values of hard work, responsibility, community, and family than to have exposure and participation in agriculture, and we firmly believe that. Matthew has always been active in FFA, and then one day he told me, he said he was thinking about running for office. I was excited to see Matt's passion and interest to serve, and proud of the confidence he had to begin that long interview process. I was out of town for work when Matthew called and said, "Hey, Dad, guess what? I got on as an FFA officer." I said, "That's great, Matt. Good job." He said, "Yeah, I'm going to be president." We all know what that means, right? That's the speech. I was not only unbelievably proud and overwhelmed with happiness for Matthew, but grateful that he's so involved with such a great organization surrounded by other great young men, women, families, and outstanding advisors. And speaking of advisors, Mr. Derringer and Ms. Roberts, thank you for all that you do. The amount of time, work, and dedication to these kids is truly unbelievable. As a parent, I can't thank you enough for what you do. You truly make a difference in many lives of the students that pass through this organization. Matthew will serve the FFA and officer team well as president. Like many of the young men and women here tonight, Matthew understands hard work, the importance of dedication, the meaning of responsibility, and above all, the importance to respect others. These traits were never more reflected than last year with Matthew's 4-H project. Matthew has always showed pigs and has won various shows, but never Ohio State. And one day Matthew asked me, he said, "Dad, what do we have to do to win at Ohio State? We've tried many times." My response to Matthew was, you have to have a lot of luck, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of passion, and a lot more luck. We have a saying written in the barn, another one, as Matthew mentioned, many from my father, as he was passionate about livestock. This says, "Practice and prepare like you have never won, and while in the show ring, show with a confidence as if you have never lost." And one thing that I always try to promote to my children or anyone who will listen is confidence. Matthew weighed, washed, walked, and brushed his barrows 3 to 4 hours every day. One early morning, Matthew and I were sitting on a bench about 6 a.m. in the barn. Matthew was wondering and asked me, "Why are we up so early in this barn?" I told Matthew, whoever's going to win at Ohio State is up right now and working with their livestock just like you. Well, Matthew won at Ohio State. And at the Sale of Champions, Matthew was asked, "What do you plan to do with the money from the sale?" And Matthew replied quite simply, "I plan to farm my grandma and grandpa's farm." Shortly after the sale, Matthew came to me and said, "Dad, I think I want to farm. What do you think? Would that be okay?" I told Matthew, I can't think of anything better. Matthew's dedication and passion for agriculture is what brought us to that conversation. I've been to every banquet, FFA banquet, except one since 2003, and I have enjoyed them all. But Matthew, you have made this by far the best one for me. Your family and Grandma is here tonight, and I'm sure Grandpa is looking down on you. We love you, we're proud of you, and good luck with the officer team. Thank you.
Thank you. The Talawanda FFA chapter would not be able to function without the support and contribution from adults in the community. Each year, members of the community are recognized for their continued dedication to premier leadership, personal growth, and career success of our membership. At this time, we would like to introduce this year's guests of the banquet and confer 2 new honorary chapter degrees into the Talawanda Butler Tech FFA chapter.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce our special guest. As I call your name, please stand to be recognized. Please hold all applause until the end. Mr. Mark Butterfield, Board President, Talawanda Local Schools Board of Education, and his family. Lois Vollmer, Talawanda Local Schools Board of Education, representative to Butler Tech's Board of Education, and her husband, Mr. Vollmer. Mr. Tom York, Principal of Talawanda High Schools. Mrs. Molly Mers, Assistant Principal of Talawanda High School. Mrs. Amy Claywell, Butler Tech Satellite Supervisor of Talawanda Agricultural Education Department. Mrs. Ann Rush, Butler Tech Initiative Teaching and Learning Coach for Agricultural Education Programs. Mr. Dan Zimmerman, Retired Teacher of Agriculture, Talawanda High School. Mr. Eric Roberts, husband to Carrie Roberts, teacher of agriculture, Talawanda High School, and Easton and Carly Roberts. Mrs. Allison Derringer, wife to Mike Derringer, teacher of agriculture, Talawanda High School, Miranda and Colleen Derringer. All Talawanda FFA Advisory Committee members in attendance. 2017-2018 Ohio FFA State Officers Emily Mullen and Emma Sturworth. Mr. Bob Ratterman, freelance writer for the Oxford Press, and Mrs. Ratterman. Mr. Ron Tilford, Talawanda FFA Alumni President, and Mr. Tilford. Any current Talawanda FFA alumni members in attendance. All teachers and school employees of Talawanda High School and Butler Tech visiting FFA members from Edgewood High School, Bree Reardon and Jacqueline Sparks. Visiting FFA members from Ross High School, Chloe Hyde and Hannah Vagan. Visiting FFA members from Twin Valley South High School, Callan Pitts and Hannah Pemberton, Allison Derringer Advisor. Visiting FFA members from Franklin County High School, Austin Herman and Audrey Herman. Visiting FFA members from Liberty FFA Chapter, Sarah Schwab, Cody Red, Taylor Pinkerton, and Morgan Crom. All scholarship presenters in attendance, all past honorary chapter FFA degree winners, all former Talawanda FFA members, and the parents of Talawanda FFA members, and finally, current 2017-2018 Talawanda FFA members, 144 strong.
It is always a pleasure to receive honorary members into the National FFA organization, for it is our intent and purpose to recognize from time to time the efforts of adults on our behalf. Mr. Secretary, please read the section of the National Constitution that outlines for honorary membership.
Honorary membership. Farmers, school superintendents, principals, members in agricultural education, businessmen, and others who are helping to advance agricultural education and the FFA, and who have rendered outstanding service may be elected for honorary membership.
Mr. Secretary, will you please read the names of the persons who are to receive this honor, and will the officer team prepare for the honorary degree ceremony?
Our 2018 Talawanda Butler Tech FFA honorary chapter degree recipients are Mr. Jim Gardner and Mr. Tony Sturworth. Would Rachel Tussey and Colleen Mingus please escort our honorees to the stage at this time, and will Justin Beckner and Dakota Kiefer return to the stage to introduce our honorees.
Our first honorary degree recipient this evening is Mr. Jim Garner. Jim has been supporting our chapter for many years, but most recently in the past 5 years as his son Austin went through our program. He has chaperoned trips, driven buses for us on numerous occasions, including to our conventions and state and invitational CDE trips, and has allowed for our livestock team to practice at his family farm. Jim has always been encouraging to our members and doesn't shy away from the FFA when we need someone in a pinch. Thank you, Jim, for your continued support.
Our second honorary degree recipient this evening is Mr. Tony Sturworth. Tony has helped assist our chapter for the past 6 years. Each fall, our chapter enters the Talawanda FFA, the Talawanda Homecoming Parade with an awesome truck and trailer, all thanks to Tony. He has donated his time to drive his semi-truck and trailer during our homecoming parade for the FFA. Tony has been a chaperone to various events, from the state convention to the Big E trip. He has employed our members in working on numerous tasks for his trucking company that he proudly owns. Tony's always been a helpful hand to our FFA, and we appreciate his support and encouragement. Thank you, Tony.
I welcome you as friends of the FFA. It is my privilege as Sentinel to extend to each of you the symbolic hand clasp of friendship and brotherhood.
As reporter, I am pleased to inform you that the FFA is a national youth organization whose purpose is to develop agricultural leaders. Welcome to membership.
Your contributions as useful citizens in our democracy serves as examples for members to follow. As treasurer, I welcome you to our organization.
The FFA needs counsel and guidance from recognized leaders. It is my pleasure as secretary to add your name to our roll of honorees.
As vice president, I welcome you to the FFA. I would inform you that our members learn to appreciate the dignity of labor. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much.
On behalf of every member, I wish to say we are proud to have you as honorary members. I impress upon you that we look to you for counsel and guidance. It is because of the great respect we have for you that you have been elected to honorary membership.
May this affiliation prove valuable to all. I now confer upon you honorary membership into the Talawanda Butler Tech FFA chapter and present to you this token of membership. Please give our new honorary members, as well as all Talawanda FFA honorary members located on pages 23 and 24 of your program, a round of applause. It is now time to start our chapter awards program portion of the program. For section 1, I welcome Kendall Haven and Sarah Allen to the stage. Kendall is our current treasurer and is the daughter of Donnie and Amy Haven. Sarah is our current vice president and is the daughter of Troy and Melissa Allen.
Thank you, Jacob. Tonight's first group of awards pertain to our annual fundraiser, the Citrus Cooperative Fruit Sale. At this time, we call forward our top 10 fundraisers. Will the following individuals please come forward?
Dalton Schlichter, Peyton Weekly, Austin Weekly, Wally Mingus, Colleen Mingus, Eric Glab, Grace Suit, Dakota Kiefer, Joseph Copeland, Jennifer Bittner, Kaylee Houston, Caroline Vonderhaar, and Rachel Tussey.
This year we ordered 983 boxes of citrus, 880 boxes of apples, 2,308 bottles of barbecue sauce, and 1,456 bags of black pony kettle corn. Our sales results are listed on page 10 and 11 in your programs. I am pleased to announce that in the 2017 fundraiser, we finished first in Ohio in Black Pony and DB Yummers barbecue, and second in Ohio in citrus. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all names have been announced.
The following FFA members and families sold between $1,300 and $2,000 worth of product. When your name is called, please step forward to receive your award. Rachel Tussey was our 10th high seller. Caroline Vonderhaar was our 9th. Kaylee Houston was our 8th. Jennifer Bittner was 7th. Joseph Copeland was 6th.
The top 5 FFA members and teams have gone above and beyond this year, each selling over $2,000 worth of product. Dakota Kiefer was our 5th high seller, selling $2,016 worth of product. Grace Sue was our 4th high seller, selling $2,405 worth of product. Eric Glab was our 3rd high seller, selling $2,556 worth of product. The team of Wally and Colleen Mingus were our 2nd high sellers, selling $2,652 worth of product.
And our 2017 top fundraiser is the team of Peyton Weekly, Austin Weekly, and Dalton Schlichter, selling $4,600 worth of product. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our top fruit salesmen and women for the 2017 fruit sale. Will the following members and teams please come forward? Eliza Jones, Jacob Schulte, Matt Butterfield, Katie Tilford, Emily Jones, Casey Kondo, Alexis Green, Olivia Woodruff, Aaron Mavis, Austin Lake, and Allie Gentry. These 11 members and teams sold over $1,000 worth of product. These members will be receiving a plaque for their hard work. Eliza Jones, Jacob Schulte, Matt Butterfield, Katie Tilford, Emily Jones, Casey Kondo, Alexis Green, Olivia Woodruff, Aaron Mavis, Austin Lake, and Allie Gentry. Let's give our top fruit salesmen and women a round of applause.
We would now like the members who sold between $500 and $999 worth of fruit to please stand at your seats as we read your names and remain standing.
These 43 members and teams have received a special fruit sale t-shirt for their efforts.
Camry Winstead Neely, Mallory Elliott, Adam Crank, Taylor Bowie, Natalie Darner, Lexi Durbin, Jacob Williams, Logan Scott,
Sophia Thompson, Ashley Hooker, Tony Zuban, Kira McKinney, Alex Herman, Carrie Herman, Robbie Bruner, Hunter Brewer,
Jonathan Shepard, Regan Shepard, Ernie Eversole, Cheyenne Benj, Clayton Abrams, Lindsay Abrams, Quentin Lake, and Jen Balcon.
Josh Niehoff, Nathan Evans, Samantha Schuster, Haley Pittman, John Beckett, James Beckett, Tyler Teeters, Ashley Teeters,
Justin Beckner, Macy Coleman, Dalton Norris, Cody Wilson, Hannah Kress, Jess Dingledine, Lucas Lunsford, Ben Eichler, Nate Richardson, Michael Schwab, and Lane Schwab. Congratulations.
I would now like to ask our top spring salesmen to come forward. Will these 10 members please join us on stage? Wally and Colleen Mingus, Dalton Norris, Tony Zuban, Hunter Brewer, Ashley Hooker, Grace Sue, Hannah Kress, Justin Beckner, Peyton Weekly, Austin Weekly, Dalton Schlichter, and Camry Winstead Neely. Each member who finished 6th to 10th will receive a certificate, and the top 5 will receive a plaque for their efforts. Dalton Norris was our 10th place seller. Grace Sue was our 9th place seller. Hunter Brewer was our 8th place seller. Ashley Hooker was our 7th place seller. Samantha Schuster was our 6th place seller.
The team of Wally and Colleen Mingus were our 5th place seller. Our fourth place seller was Justin Beckner. In third place was a team of Dalton Schlichter, Peyton Weekly, and Austin Weekly. In second place was Camry Winstead Neely. And Hannah Kress will be our top strawberry and barbecue seller and selling a whopping 16 full flats of strawberries. While fundraising is nice, it is also appropriate to give to our charitable causes. Our athletic Aggies compete in 3 basketball tournaments this winter, and all monies pledged to our members were donated to one of Ohio's FFA official charities, Church World Service, Children's Hospital, and the Ohio FFA Foundation. Can all FFA basketball players in attendance make their way to the stage, and may Eliza Jones, Sentinel-elect, come to the podium at this time?
Scoot down.
The varsity Aggies, made up of our juniors and seniors, finished with a 2-6 record. Our varsity team members were Ben the Punisher Eichler, Big Lex Lexi Durbin, Jake the Snake Schulte, Emily Quart Queen Jones, Clobber Time Eric Glab, Dakota Chief Keef Kiefer, Jackson Jackie Son Miller Grow, Stone Cold Wally Mingus, Matt Butters Butterfield, Uptown Girl Sarah Allen, and Chris the Man Cobb, who scored like every basket.
Our junior varsity Aggies, made up of freshmen and sophomores, finished with a 10-0 record and won every tournament they were a part of. Our junior varsity team members were Mad Dog Michael Schwab, Dalton Schlichter, Will the Wall Weber, Austin Weekles Weekly, Lane Schwab Lane Frost, El Chapo Luke Richardson, Karina Blondie Morris, and the pickup man Samantha Schuster.
FFA basketball could not be possible without volunteers. General Manager Derringer wishes to thank his coaching staff, Brad Gukin, Troy Mabus, Jordan Ratliff, and Jack Wultebacher, as well as Dan Burkholder and Milford Township for the use of our home court at Collinsville Community Center. We set a goal of raising $1,000 for charity this year. It is my pleasure to announce that these FFA members raised $1,231 for charity. Okay.
Before we let these athletes back to their seats, we have 2 additional awards, the coveted MVP Awards. The MVP Awards take into account both points scored and money raised for charity. Chris Cobb for varsity and Michael Schwab for JV. Let's show our appreciation for our FFA basketball players and for charitable giving.
We would now like to turn our program back to President Jake Schulte for our scholarship presentations.
At this time, we will be presenting the senior scholarships. Would all presenters in attendance tonight please make their way up to the stage through the entrance on my left, your right, where Justin Beckner will be present to line you up. Seniors, if you are selected for an award, please greet your presenter at the center of the stage.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dan Crank. I'm your Butler County Recorder. But most important, I am a 30-year-plus member of the Hamilton Linenwall recently acquired Fairfield Kiwanis Club. The Kiwanis Club's main goal is to support organizations that support the youth in our communities. Today, around 1:30, I received a phone call that the person was going to be here couldn't make it, and could I make it here this evening? And I had another commitment that I had to be at. But I said to myself, over the years, I have the opportunity to mingle and to see what happens with members of the FFA. And I know that that organization does more to support the work ethic and develop the youth for our future leaders of tomorrow. And I made a commitment to myself I had to be here tonight to support this organization. It's a great bunch of young people. Tonight, I'm honored to give the Les Judd Memorial Scholarship from the Linenwall Kiwanis to Tony Zoban.
It is my honor to stand here tonight with my mom, aunts, and grandma to represent the Miller family and the FFA alumni in presenting a scholarship in memory of my Aunt Becky and Grandpa Bill. Becky was an active member in the Talawanda Butler Tech FFA chapter, participating in numerous judging contests, serving as the chapter treasurer and president. Grandpa enjoyed watching his 5 daughters succeed in this organization and would be proud of his grandkids and all have accomplished thus far. Upon Becky's unexpected death in 1999 and Grandpa's death in 2006, we established the Bill and Becky Miller Memorial Scholarship in memory of these two special people. The recipient of the Bill and Becky Miller Memorial Scholarship is Caroline Vanderhaar. Caroline plans to attend the University of Findlay and major in animal science. Congratulations, Caroline.
Good evening. On behalf of the Vollmer family, I would like to, Bill and Lois, Paige, Taylor, Butch, Amy, Hannah Morgan, David, and myself, we would like to thank the alumni and its supporters and all of you Talawanda FFA members. Due to your continued support, we have the honor of presenting a scholarship in memory of my sister-in-law and David's sister, Terry Ann Vollmer-Reuter. Terry was a former FFA member that graduated in 1987. She was the first female Star Green Hand and served as the reporter her junior year. She loved the FFA. After graduating from Talawanda, she became an X-ray technician, but her love of agriculture led her back to her employment at the USDA Farm Service Agency, where she worked until her death in 1997. At this time, we would like to present the 2018 Terry Ann Vollmer Scholarship recipient to this FFA member that is a longtime member of the Butler County 4-H program. He is very involved in showing cattle, both locally, throughout the state, and nationally. He's competed in the farm business management. He is a member of the livestock judging team. So this year's recipient is Wally the Stone Cold Mingus.
Joining me up here tonight is my sister Lauren. My grandpa, Gordon Butterfield, believed the key to a successful farm was hard work, dedication, and family. Grandpa's passion for agriculture and livestock was always clear to see. His passion was his success. Throughout his life, he remained dedicated to agriculture and was a strong supporter and believer of the FFA. This is why our family has established a memorial scholarship in his memory. Just like my grandpa, this year's recipient is very passionate about agriculture and is no stranger to hard work. The Butterfield family is proud to award this scholarship. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating this year's Gordon Butterfield Scholarship recipient, Eric Glab.
Good evening, folks. We're here tonight to represent the Donald Lake Scholarship. Tonight with me are my brother Dean, son Austin, I'm John with my son Quentin, and our two Jennifers are in the audience. Our dad was involved in agriculture in Butler County for over 60 years. He had a dairy operation in Hanover Township. He also row cropped with a little hay and straw on the side. Tonight we are presenting our scholarship to a young man who I've known his whole life. He has grown into quite the young man. He would make any parent proud. He has led this chapter for the past year. I got a whole list of things that he's done, but they only gave me 3 minutes. So, anyway, Mr. Jacob Schulte, please come forward. He will be attending Miami University and to study business. So good luck, Jake.
The recipient of the Doug Visden Memorial Scholarship is Jessica Dingledine. We are so proud of my cousin Jessica. My grandpa Doug would be also. I've watched her grow up from messy Jess into a wonderful young lady who is not the golden child.
Good evening. I am Emma Glazer.
And I'm her big brother, Ben Glazer. This is our first time presenting this award in memory of our great uncle, Hager Fugate. This scholarship is sponsored by Black Pony Kettle Corn, which my sister started as a SAE project her sophomore year in high school and continues to operate as a small business while she attends classes at Miami University. Although not an alumni member himself, our uncle was very supportive of our involvement with FFA. This award is to recognize his entrepreneurial spirit and a student that exemplifies those type of characteristics.
I am pleased to announce the senior that will be receiving the Hager Fugate Memorial Scholarship, sponsored by Black Pony Kettle Corn, to Sarah Allen.
Hi, my name's Dean Lake, and I've been asked to give out the Dwayne Friels Memorial Scholarship this year. Dwayne Friels was an ag education teacher at Talawanda. He was an integral part of the FFA Farms. Dwayne Friels had a distinguished career in education, ag business, and he served his country in World War II in the Army Air Corps. After retirement in 1988, Dwayne was an active FFA alumni member. This year, the recipient of the 2018 Dwayne Friels Memorial Scholarship is Katie Tilford. If she'll please come forward. Katie received her state FFA degree in 2017, was a member of the state FFA band, and was an active member of the dairy and forestry CDE teams. Katie will be attending Indiana University East for nursing.
To me to break up. Let's try this third time here. Please stay. Timothy Glenn Gabbert. Tim Gabbert was an active member and played football. Upon his untimely death, a scholarship was established in his memory. The recipient of the Tim Gabbert Scholarship for 2018 is Emily Jones. Emily is a current chapter sentinel, was an active member of the General Livestock Judging Team, and was a 2017 Butler County Fair Showman of Showman. And Emily plans on attending Miami University and studying in psychology. Duct tape, the handyman's secret weapon. The Jeff Kolb Memorial Scholarship was established by the Talawanda FFA alumni. Jeff was a sophomore FFA member from Raleigh Township and tragically lost his life in an auto accident on the day of the first annual alumni consignment auction. The recipient of the Jeff Kolb Memorial Scholarship for 2018 is Alex Herman. Alex received a state degree, was active member of the Small Engines and Tractor Troubleshooting CDE teams, and plans on attending University of Northwestern Ohio in the fall. The FFA Merit Scholarship was established by the Talawanda alumni to recognize an active 4-year member of the chapter. The Merit Scholarship for 2018 is Aaron Mavis. Aaron was a solid member, FFA member, Ag Ed student, and plans on attending Miami University for nursing.
Honor our senior scholarship winners and sponsors with one more round of applause. Mr. Tilford has an additional set of awards to give on behalf of the Ohio FFA alumni. Mr. Tilford, the podium is yours.
Would Emily Mullen and Emma Stroworth please come to the stage? Thank you for inviting the Ohio FFA Alumni Association to be a part of the banquet this evening. One of the advocacy projects of the State Alumni Association is to provide lifetime alumni membership to state officers. Talawanda Butler Tech has a rich tradition of developing leaders. This is exemplified by the accomplishments that have been and will be recognized this evening at the banquet, and past accomplishments that are displayed in both Ag Ed classrooms and the Ag hallway. At the 2017 State FFA Convention, Emily Mullen and Emma Sturworth were elected to serve as State FFA Treasurer and State FFA Vice President. They have demonstrated they are willing to go all out and transfer their purpose into action with an I can, we will attitude. As Ohio FFA state officers, your dedicated service to all Ohio FFA members is important to us. And Ohio FFA Alumni Association would like to show our appreciation and support by providing you with lifetime alumni membership. We recognize that you are the future and that you will carry the awesome privilege and responsibility of preserving the future of agriculture, and in some part, we hope to pay it forward to the next generation of leaders. Thank you, Emily and Emma, for your service to Ohio FFA and transforming lives through your actions.
Thank you, Mr. Tilford. May I please have Emily Jones and Caroline Vonderhaar to assist me at the podiums at this time? Emily is our current sentinel and is the daughter of Jeff and Melissa Jones. Caroline is our current reporter and is the daughter of Alan and Rachel Vonderhaar. While they are preparing, members, please direct your attention to the screen, where we will have a running order of the teams we are recognizing on stage and at your seats. All top 10 finishes in the state will be recognized on stage, and the remaining teams and individuals will stand at their seats to be recognized. FFA members, please enter the stage from my left, your right. Please be early and line up with your CDE team on the side steps. So the Urban Soils team should be walking this way as we speak. Friendly reminder, if your team is supposed to stand at their seats, you may want to do that.
Thank you, Jake. FFA chapters all across Ohio have the opportunity to participate in several career development events at the sub-district, district, and state levels. These academic teams provide opportunities for our students to compete and gain knowledge in several areas of agriculture. When you take into account that there are roughly 30 schools in our district and over 300 in the state of Ohio, it puts into perspective how successful we were this past year and every year.
Our career development events accomplishments are listed on pages 7 through 9 of your program, as well as pages 26 through 28. We ask that everyone hold applause until the end of the CDE award ceremony. Members, as Jake said, when your team is called, please walk with your team to the stage to receive your recognition. We will honor teams chronologically, starting with the recognition of teams competed in fall of 2017.
Evaluating land for urban dwellings, septic systems, roads, landscaping, and basements is nothing to these members. This team finished first in the county and second in districts. From there, the top 4 members advanced to the state finals, where they finished 10th in the state of Ohio. Dakota Kiefer, Austin Lake, Joseph Copeland, Matthew Butterfield, Michael Schwab, and Macy Coleman were our participants. Dakota Kiefer was our high individual on the team. finishing 38th in the state.
Rural soils judging is similar to urban judging, but in this case, we are evaluating the land for row cropping, pasture land, and other agricultural purposes. The team of Ben Eichler, Peyton Weekly, Spencer Crowder, Sarah Allen, Casey Kondo, Dalton Schlichter, Austin Weekly, Nate Richardson, Michael Gill, and Lucas Lunsford participated in the county contest, winning that. From there, the top 6 participated in districts where they finished 5th, advancing to the top 4 in the state level where they finished 12th in Ohio. Spencer Crowder was our top individual, finishing 11th in Ohio.
I would now like to recognize our advanced parliamentary procedure team. Our team this year placed 2nd in the sub-district and placed 2nd at the district contest, and then 6th place at the state of Ohio. This was our first state parley team in over 10 years. Parliamentary procedure is designed for students to be able to work as a unit and handle business of a professional meeting. Sarah Allen, Kendall Haven, Tony Zuban, Jalen Kiesler, Justin Beckner, Grace Suit, and Hannah Lightfield were our advanced parley team participants.
Congratulations. There will be a person. Beginning parliamentary procedure is for Greenhand members only and is quite difficult. We look for many of these members to join our advanced team next year. This team finished 1st in the sub-district and 5th in the district. Congratulations to Austin Weekly, Karina Morris, Kira McKinney, Natalie Darner, Braden Spurlock, Hunter Suttles, Lane Schwab, and Taylor Cornett.
The Food Science CDE tests students' taste palates, hazards in food preparation, and the sensory awareness of flavors, just to name a few. Congratulations to Sophia Thompson, Lexi Durbin, Grace Suit, Sophia Dowers, Caroline Vonderhaar, Colleen Mingus, Rachel Tussey, Kaylee Houston, Karina Morris, and Haley Pittman for finishing 3rd in the district. Our top individual was Sophia Thompson.
Ag Sales CDE is designed for members to be able to sell a product of their choice to a set of judges, as well as a practicum in order taking and customer service. This year, our member chose to sell black pony kettle corn and artificial insemination equipment and resources. Congratulations to Peyton Weekly, Justin Beckner, Dalton Norris, and Grace Suit for their 2nd place finish in the district and 10th place finish in the state. Justin was our high individual on the team, finishing 21st in the state of Ohio.
This year, we had 7 members compete at our sub-district public speaking contest. 3 advanced to the district competition, where 2 members qualified to the state public speaking finals. Participants will receive a plaque, framed certificate, and a pin for their efforts.
Camry Winstead Neely, granddaughter of Patricia Neely, participated in the extemporaneous speaking and finished 5th in the sub-districts.
Kira McKinney finished 5th in sub-districts in Crete speaking and is the daughter of Keith and Crystal McKinney.
Eliza Jones, daughter of David and Sarah Jones, finished 2nd in sub-district in beginning prepared speaking.
Macy Coleman, daughter of Gary and Diana Coleman, finished 3rd at the sub-district contest in advanced prepared speaking.
Sarah Allen, daughter of Troy and Melissa Allen, was our representative in the extemporaneous public speaking contest. She placed 2nd at the sub-districts and 3rd at districts.
Casey Kondo, daughter of Michael Kondo and Cynthia McConnell, placed 1st at the sub-district level and the district level with her beginning prepared speech on swine flu. She finished 5th in the entire state of Ohio.
Last but not least, Haley Pittman, whom you heard from earlier in this evening. Daughter of Carrie and Jill Manning, placed 1st in the sub-districts, 2nd in districts, and finished 4th overall in Ohio for reciting the Creed.
Sarah Allen, Allie Gentry, Dalton Norris, and Morgan Hancock competed in the sub-district and district job interview contest. It is designed to simulate a real situation which members apply for a job, write a cover letter and resume, interview, and write a thank you letter.
Morgan Hancock placed 11th at the district level. Morgan is a daughter of Michael and Connie Jackson. Dalton Norris placed 4th at the sub-district level in the sophomore division. Dalton is the son of Denver and Bonnie Norris. Allie Gentry placed 10th at the district level in the junior division. Allie is the daughter of Stan and Sherry Gentry. Sarah Allen placed 5th at the district level in the junior division. Sarah is the daughter of Troy and Melissa Allen.
Alex Herman, Michael Schwab, and Jalen Kiesler were our chapter team members that competed in the Ag Power Diagnostic CDE. In this timed event, members identified bugs associated with tractors, combines, skid steers, and other farm implements. These boys finished 6th in the district, with Alex Herman being the top individual on the team.
The 2018 Green Hand Quiz team finished 11th in Ohio, our best finish in 5 years. Green Hand Quiz is for 9th grade students that test their knowledge of agricultural history and traditions in FFA. Team members were Sophia Thompson, Karina Morris, Natalie Darner, Austin Weekly, Kira McKinney, Carrie Herman, Hunter Brewer, Mariah Wyatt, Lane Schwab, Haley Pittman, Lucas Lunsford, and Jebediah Burton. Sophia was our high individual on this team.
Our 2018 nursery landscaping team continues to be a force to reckon with. Thank you to Troy Mavis for his dedication in coaching the following men: Jake Schulte, Eric Glab, Jacob Williams, KJ Lehman, Josh Niehoff, Matt Butterfield, Hunter Brewer, Tony Zuban, and Michael Schwab. Jake, Eric, Josh, and Jacob finished 1st in the district and 3rd in Ohio. Jake Schulte finished 1st high individual and Eric Glab 6th high individual in Ohio. Let's give these men a round of applause.
Poultry judging contests consist of internal and external egg grading, live and harvested bird carcass grading, and part identification. A big thank you to Ben Glazier for coaching this team, made up of Camry Winstead-Neely, Macy Coleman, KJ Lehman, Michael Gill, Will Miller, Jacob Williams, and Jonathan Merlot. They finished 3rd in the districts and 25th in Ohio. Camry was our top individual at the state.
Nature judging students identified bird calls, as well as covered 200 different species of mammals, birds, and plants. They also solved practicums dealing with nuisance animals. Congratulations to Magnolia Swanson, Eliza Jones, Sophia Thompson, Robert Bruner, Jared Small, and Cheyenne Benj that finished 2nd in our district and 9th in Ohio. Magnolia was our high individual, placing 29th in the state.
Our 2018 General Livestock team consisting of Wally Mingus, Tony Zuban, Lane Schwab, Dalton Schlichter, Matt Butterfield, Ben Eichler, Caroline Vonderhaar, Emily Jones, Colleen Mingus, Rachel Tussey, Justin Beckner, Peyton Weekly, Jennifer Bittner, Michael Schwab, Quentin Lake, and Clayton Smith were very successful this year, finishing 5th in the district competition and placing 22nd overall in Ohio. In this contest, students judge market and breeding classes of cattle, sheep, swine, and goats, as well as do a market grid and take an online test. Colleen Mingus was our top individual at the state contest. We would like to thank Andy Korb for the time he has spent with the CDE team.
Our 2018 equine team, consisting of Lauren Emmenacker, Allie Gentry, Lexi Durbin, Taylor Bowie, Kaylee Houston, and Morgan Hancock, placed 1st in the district contest, qualified for the state equine finals, where they were ranked 4th in Ohio before the final round. In this contest, students judge halter and performance classes, give oral reasonings on those classes, as well as identify 100 pieces of tack. Lauren Emmenacker was the high individual on this team, placing 4th in the state of Ohio. The team of Lauren Emmenacker, Allie Gentry, and Lexi Durbin placed 9th in the entire state. We would like to thank Mr. Scott Tilford for helping in preparing our equine team for the state equine finals.
Our floriculture team this year competed and finished 2nd in the district and 23rd in Ohio. Magnolia Swanson, Sophia Thompson, and Alexis Green made up our competitive team, and Magnolia was our high individual at the state competition. We would like to thank Melissa Gillespie for her assistance in this CDE team.
Our 2018 outdoor power team finished 4th in the district. The team of Alex Herman, Michael Schwab, Spencer Crowder, Dallas Miller, Hunter Brewer, and Hunter Suttles learned engine and measurement tool operation, carburetor ID, diagnostics, and more. Alex Herman was our high individual on this team, placing 4th in the districts.
The 2018 Farm Business Management team consisted of Casey Kondo, Colleen Mingus, Peyton Weekly, Caroline Vonderhaar, Wally Mingus, Alex Herman, and Jacob Schulte. They finished 3rd in the district and 13th in state. This team makes management decisions in common agricultural situations in various scenarios. Jake Schulte was 9th high individual in Ohio.
Our 2018 meets team of Colleen Mingus, Tony Zuban, Jen Bittner, and Justin Beckner placed 9th in the state. In this contest, contestants judged both carcass classes as well as retail cut classes of cattle, lamb, and pork. In addition to this, students must identify 40 different retail cuts and perform a marketing scenario. Colleen was our top individual, placing 26th in the state of Ohio.
Congratulations. Our 2018 Vet Science team consisted of Ben Eichler, Kaylee Houston, Justin Beckner, Jebediah Burton, Kira McKinney, Rachel Tussey, and Haley Pittman. We would like to thank Jacob Schlichter for assisting with the CDE, where our top individual was Ben Eichler.
Our 2018 Grain Merchandising CDE tests students' ability to look at market trends and make educated financial decisions to determine the best point in time to sell their crops while making the most profit for the given operation. Jake Schulte, Wally Mingus, Alex Herman, Casey Kondo, Caroline Vonderhaar, Colleen Mingus, Matt Butterfield, Michael Schwab, Lane Schwab, and Rachel Tussey all competed in this event, tying for 8th place team. The top 4 scores of Jacob Schulte, Wally Mingus, Alex Herman, and Casey Kondo made up our grain merchandising team for the state finals presentation. They did a great job in the final round and placed 4th in the state and have added another banner to the hallway this year. Thank you to Alan and Rachel Vonderhaar, Jean Brubaker, and Janelle Berkschneider from Anderson's Ethanol Plant in Greenville for all of their help in preparing this team.
May I have Alex Herman, Jacob Schulte, Lauren Emmenacker, Casey Kondo, and Sophia Thompson to the center of the stage, please. Join us at the podium at this time.
In conclusion, on behalf of Emily, Caroline, Jake, myself, and all of our members, we thank all of the coaches and parents who have helped these members learn about their individual CDEs. It is a tough job to willingly study for something, or so I am told, and these FFA members competed well once again. Let's give them a big round of applause. Overall, the Talawanda FFA chapter participated in 24 different career development events. For those of you whose names were not called for any of these career development events, get involved. There is plenty of room in our program for you next year. Congratulations to all CDE participants, but before I leave the podium, we have one more competition award. The CDE Circle of Success is a newly minted award for students that have had an outstanding year in CDEs. These individuals were on stage frequently in the past 30 minutes in both number of teams and how well they did in each. We will award those on stage with certificates and award one member the star in chapter competition and the opportunity to ring the competition bell.
Sophia Thompson immediately started to rock and roll in the CDEs this year. She started off with the Food Science CDE and was a leader of this team. She was also an integral part of the Green Hand Quiz team, Nature, Crete Speaking, and Floriculture CDE. No matter the CDE, Sophia always put 110% into preparing and competing in these CDEs.
Casey Kondo made it a goal last year to reach higher peaks in FFA. She has done just that. Casey made it to state this year with her beginning prepared speech, placing 5th in Ohio. and was part of the farm business management and grain merchandising teams. Casey added her name to her first banner this year as a part of the 4th place state grain merchandising team.
Lauren Emmenacker continues to be constant and successful in the equine CDE. She ranked first in the Wilmington College Equine Contest this year out of 225 judges, second out of 131 judges at the Miami Trace Contest, and was 4th in the state as an individual. She strives to grow and learn each year, no matter what her previous success was.
Since his freshman year, Alex Herman has worked hard in multiple CDEs, including tractor troubleshooting, outdoor power, general livestock, grain merchandising, and farm business management. His name is embroidered on a banner, and he has earned over $20,000 in scholarship money due in part to his CDE success.
Over the past 4 years, Jacob Schulte has taken pride in the CDEs he's competed in, continually performs well in all CDEs due to his determination and work ethic. This year, Jacob added his 5th banner to the hallway with his name on it. His top CDEs include farm business management, grain merchandising, and nursery landscaping, all banner award-winning teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, our 2018 star in competition is Alex Herman. Alex has had a great career in the Talawanda FFA, whether it be outdoor power, general livestock, grain merchandising, farm business management, or tractor troubleshooting, to name a few. Alex put his name on a grain merchandising banner this year and has earned multiple scholarships to the University of Northern Western Ohio for his skills in ag power diagnostics. Alex also did a great job this year in regards to training underclassmen in small engines. Congratulations, Alex. Ring that bell.
Thank you, Emily and Jacob. At this time, I would like to ask that you direct your attention to the front screen for our multimedia production of the past year's activities. I have enjoyed putting this presentation together, and I send a special thank you to Mr. Kevin Blakely for, again, volunteering to produce this 5-star feature. Please sit back and enjoy the music and pictures.
Talk about an uphill battle, 2,000 acres of beans and cattle. He don't ever get rattled, he just goes till the sun goes down. Hydraulic fluid on his jeans, red dye diesel and 10 rows between. A cold one on the porch and a good night's sleep. Y'all hold 'em up with me now. Here's to the farmer that plants the fields in the spring, that turn from green to that harvest honey. Hold one up for the banker downtown that got him on his feet with handshake of money. Here's to the farmer's wife that loves him every night, raising a son, raising a daughter. They gather around the table, send it up to the father. Somehow they get closer when times get harder. Here's to the farmer.
She rattled the ice in my plastic cup. I said, yes, ma'am, fill her up. Tell me something good that I don't know. 'Cause this world's been kicking my behind. Life ain't been a friend of mine. Lately I've been feeling kinda low. And she looked back over her shoulder, pointed at the sign hanging up on the wall. It said, everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. And nobody's gotta worry about nothing. Don't go hitting that panic button. It ain't worth spilling your drink. Everything's gonna be alright. Alright. Alright.
So I nodded my head and said that's for sure. Dropped a few butts in the mason jar. Felt those good old neon vibes on me. And whatever monkey that was on my back, he jumped off just like that, right into the deep blue sea. And I looked back over her shoulder, thinking about the sign hanging up on the wall that said, everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Nobody's gotta worry about nothing. Don't go hitting that panic button. It ain't near as bad as you think. Everything's gonna be alright. 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 Give me 5 more minutes. Time rolls by, the clock don't stop. I wish I had a few more drops of the good stuff, the good times. Oh, but they just keep on flying right on by like it ain't nothing. Wish I had me a pause button. Moments like those, Lord knows I'd hit it. And give myself 5 more minutes. I believe kids ought to stay kids as long as they can. Turn off the screen, go climb a tree, get dirt on their hands. I believe we gotta forgive and make amends, 'cause nobody gets a second chance to make new old friends. I believe in working hard for what you've got, even if it don't gold are worth the work, but I'd still wanna go even if they were paved in dirt. I believe that youth is spent well on the young, 'cause wisdom in your teens would be a lot less fun. I believe if you just go by the nightly news, your faith in all mankind would be the first thing you lose. I believe most people are good and most mamas ought to qualify for sainthood. I believe most Friday nights look better under neon or stadium lights. I believe you love who you love, ain't nothing you should ever be ashamed of. I believe this world ain't half as bad as it looks. I believe most people are good.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Ladies and gentlemen, could you all make some noise for the World Tag Team Champions, Stone Cold, Wally Mingus, and E-Rock Eric Lab as they make their way to the podiums. Wally is serving as this year as their secretary and is the son of Walter and Lori Mingus. Eric is currently serving as this year's student advisor and is the son of Tim and Sarah Glab.
At this time, we would now like to recognize our Green Hand officers who did a great job this year learning leadership. These ninth graders each received a t-shirt earlier this year for their efforts. They have all assisted at some point in this evening's festivities and all ran the annual FFA meeting in April. These members were responsible for coordinating the events of the 55 Green Hands listed on page 15 of the program. Would each member rise as I call your name? Natalie Darner, Secretary. Student Advisor, Karina Morris. Reporter, Kira McKinney. Treasurer, Lane Schwab. Sentinel, Lucas Lunsford. Hunter Brewer, Vice President. Austin Weekly, President. Let's give our Green Hand officers a round of applause. We also like to put the Green Hand members against each other in a friendly competition each year and compete for the most number of FFA activities. Members are split up before the start of their freshman year at random and are awarded points for each FFA activity they participate in. This year's first place Green Hand family is the Blue Warriors, led by Caroline Vonderhaar. May the following Green Hand members stand at their seats to be recognized: Hunter Brewer, Karina Morris, Isaiah Berter, Ashley Hooker, James Beckett, Morgan Hancock, Logan Miller, Mariah Wyant. Let's give the winning Green Hand family a round of applause.
Will Braylon Wagers, Jessica Dingledine, Sophia Thompson, and Eliza Jones please come to the stage at this time? Now it is my privilege to award the Star Scholastic Awards to these four members. They have the highest grade point average of all FFA members here at Talawanda High School. Please come forward to receive your pin. Our high scholar freshman is Sophia Thompson with a 4.150 GPA. Our high scholar sophomore is Eliza Jones with a GPA of 4.0. Our high scholar junior is Braylon Wagers with a GPA of 4.205. Our high scholar senior is Jessica Dingledine with a GPA of 4.278.
Congratulations to these members.
I would like to call forward and recognize the following members for their 2018 officer books: Wally Mingus, Kendall Haven, and Caroline Vonderhaar. Each of these officers worked hard to obtain the gold rating they earned, which was rating of gold. This means they're in the top 10% of all secretaries, treasurers, and reporters in Ohio, scoring at least a 90% on their evaluation, and they all deserve a big round of applause.
We will now present the Chapter Proficiency Awards. Will Allie Gentry, Joseph Copeland, Colleen Mingus, Austin Lake, Jacob Williams, Kaylee Houston, Macy Coleman, Katie Tilford, Dalton Schlichter, Justin Beckner, Eric Glab, Jacob Schlichter, Emily Mullen, and Emma Glazier join us on stage at this time. Please hold all applause until all members have been recognized. The Chapter Equine Proficiency winner for 2018 is Allie Gentry. Allie has earned over $2,000 over the past year working with Tom Bowling Performance Horses and has invested much time and effort at her home farm, Double A Diamond. Allie was the equine representative to the Butler County Showman to Showman in 2017. Great job, Allie.
Joseph Copeland is the winner of the Vegetable Production Entrepreneurship Award. Joseph has worked 24 hours in his vegetable garden, bush mowing between rows, setting up planting trellises and fences for cucumbers to grow. He transplants his own cucumbers and cultivates lettuce, carrots, peas, green beans, and radishes. Congratulations to Joseph. Great job.
Austin Lake is the winner of the Small Animal Production Award. Austin has 12 rabbits that he breeds and shows the offspring at fair in July. Through this project, Austin has earned over $330 from selling his rabbits while working over 21 hours on his SAE project. Congratulations, Austin.
Jacob Williams is the winner of the Grain Production Award. Jacob grew 5 acres of field corn this year, where he spent hours disking the field to prepare for planting, picking up rocks to ensure plant growth, and farming with Oliver and White equipment. He has learned the value of hard work throughout his SAE and deserves this award. Congratulations, Jacob. You have done an exceptional job this year.
Colleen Mingus is the winner of the Beef Production Award. Colleen owns and operates a 13 cow-calf operation. Her duties are to keep accurate records, give monthly health checks, monitoring cows and calves during calving season, as well as selling and marketing the calves that she raised from her herd. She has worked a total of 4,500 hours over the past 3 years through her SAE. She competed at the district level and received 4th and was rated bronze. Congratulations, Colleen.
Kaylee Houston is our Sheep Entrepreneurship winner. Kaylee raised lambs and has over $3,000 in recorded inventory. She sold 2 lambs at the Butler County Fair in 2017 and grossed $1,000. Congratulations, Kaylee.
Macy Coleman is the winner of our Poultry Award. Macy earned her state degree this year by working 248 hours with her birds, collecting and selling eggs every week. Congratulations, Macy.
Katie Tilford is the winner of the Dairy Production Entrepreneurship Award area. Katie has raised dairy cattle to exhibit at the Butler County Fair for many years. In 2017, Katie worked over 100 hours and earned $1,000 through this dairy project. Through this SAE, she has learned how to raise dairy cattle, properly feed them, and prepare them for the show ring. Congratulations, Katie.
Dalton Schlichter is the winner of the Swine Production Placement and Entrepreneurship Award area. Dalton raises swine that he not only uses to show at the Butler County Fair, but his goal is to provide quality swine for 4-H and FFA members to purchase, raise, and show at fairs and jackpot shows. Last year at the Butler County Fair, Dalton was the breeder of the Grand and Reserve Grand Champion Born and Raised Market Swine. Dalton spends approximately 15 hours per week with his swine and more during farrowing. In 2017, Dalton began his employment with the Schwab family swine farm. He is gaining valuable placement experience that he can take back to his own swine operation. Congratulations, Dalton.
Justin Beckner is the winner of the Horticulture Production Placement Award area. This year, Justin served as one of our school greenhouse managers. He spent over 100 hours checking the greenhouse before or after school, and on weekdays checking the aquaponics system and troubleshooting any issues with this new addition to our greenhouse this year. As an unpaid SE, we appreciate the time he has spent this year monitoring the greenhouse and problem solving when we face challenges. This is the best year for our greenhouse, and it is because of Justin and the sophomore class that it is producing plants through traditional soil methods as well as hydroponically and aquaponically. Congratulations, Justin.
And finally, Eric Glab is our Forage Production Award winner. Eric works at Beckett Farms, where he is in charge of running and managing equipment, recruiting help, and production of hay. Eric has earned over $7,000 while working over 700 hours. Eric's SAE finished first in the district and third in Ohio. Congratulations, Eric. Please join me in congratulating these members.
We also have 3 recent graduates that were honored at the State FFA Convention last week. Emma Glazer is the winner of the Agricultural Sales Proficiency Award area for her entrepreneurship project with Black Pony Kettle Corn. She finished first in the district and third in Ohio. Jacob Schlichter is the winner of the Beef Placement Award. Jacob works on Schlichter Farm, where he serves as a herd manager. Jacob finished first in the district and finished second in Ohio. Jacob Schlichter is also the winner of the Veterinary Science Award area, where he has shadowed vets for over 150 hours. Jacob finished first in the district in District 9 and fourth in Ohio. Emily Mullen is the winner of the Dairy Production Placement Award. Emily has recorded over 5,000 hours over the past 5 years. Emily was our district winner and placed fourth in Ohio FFA last week at State FFA Convention. Congratulations to these 3 members.
Now I have the distinct pleasure of awarding our Chapter Star SAEs. The students that are in front of us now exhibit tremendous work ethic and spirit unbridled by their peers. They have all excelled in certain areas of the agricultural education curriculum and are deserving of these high honors tonight. We are awarding the Star Chapter Entrepreneurship, Star Placement, Star in Business, and the prestigious Star Farmer Award. Our 2018 Star in Ag Business is Macy Coleman. Macy has started her poultry business from scratch her freshman year and now sells over 5 dozen eggs per week to family and friends. Congratulations, Macy. Our 2018 Star in Ag Placement is Eric Glab. As mentioned previously, he has earned $7,000 in his SE, which is working for Darrell Beckett Farms, where he is the manager and crew leader of the hay operation. Our 2018 Star in Ag Entrepreneurship is Colleen Mingus. Colleen has grossed nearly $20,000 for her beef cattle project. She is a state degree winner here in 2018, finished fourth in the district for beef proficiency, and continues to carry on our family's business. And finally, the Star Chapter Farmer is the overall honor given to the student with the best SAE in the 2017-2018 year. The coveted 2018 Star Chapter Farmer is Eric Glab. Eric finished third in the state for his forage crop SAE, was a 2017 state FFA degree winner, and is our current chapter student advisor. Eric is a great example for all members to follow with regards working a productive SAE. Let's congratulate our chapter stars.
Would the following 8 members join us on stage at this time? Alex Herman, Lexi Durbin, Dakota Kiefer, Michael Gill, Macy Coleman, Colin Mingus, Kendall Haven, and Matt Butterfield. These 8 members are state degree winners for 2018. The state degree is presented to FFA members who meet strict minimum state standards. They represent the cream of the crop. Only 2% of FFA members in the state of Ohio earn the rank of state FFA degree. These members receive their state FFA degrees as well as the 954 others at the state FFA convention. A list of all of our state FFA degree winners are listed on page 21 of your program. These members received their golden charm, symbolic of the state FFA degree, at the state FFA convention. We present them with their certificate today. Please join me in congratulating these members.
May I now have Emily Mullen, Jenny McFarland, Jacob Schlichter, and Emma Glazier, 4 of our most recent FFA alumni members and soon-to-be winners of the highest award an FFA member can receive, to the stage at this time. It is always a goal of many FFA members to achieve the highest rank that is available. But in all reality, only 1 in 200 FFA members achieve the American FFA degree. It is an honor to have 1, let alone 4 recipients of the American FFA degree.
Jenny McFarland has just finished her sophomore year at Otterbein University, where she double majors in zoo and conservation science and biology. This summer, she will be interning at the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo.
Emily Mullen just completed her first year of college at the Ohio State University of Agricultural Technical Institute, majoring in dairy production. She also spent this past year serving as the Ohio FFA State Treasurer. This summer, Emily will be interning with a large dairy operation in eastern Ohio.
Jacob Schlichter just completed his first year of college at Miami University, where he majors in zoology, working towards his future goal of becoming a veterinarian. Jacob continues to work with Dr. Crum and Dr. Buckley for veterinary science and experience. He also serves as the herd manager for Indian Creek Farm.
Emma Glazier just finished her first year at Miami University, where she majors in small business management. Emma stays busy with her business, Black Pony Kettle Corn, as well as the Miami Steel Target competition team. Congratulations again to these 4 members. We now turn the program over to our advisors, who will finish the awards portions of the evening.
This is where we applaud, right?
Well, once again, thank you very much for coming tonight, and I hope that you're enjoyed the food as well as the ceremony that we have in here, awarding all of the members recognition for everything they've done this year. A couple of thank yous as we come up. First off, we want to thank Amy Claywell. She's out there somewhere. Amy has served as our satellite supervisor through Butler Tech for 5 years, And they're doing some redistricting, and so we're going to lose Amy. We're going to gain another Amy Webb, from Ross. And so we're excited to have Amy Webb, but we're really going to miss Amy Claywell and all of the assistance and help that she's given us. And I know the kids really enjoy her, and she travels with us. And if we can't do something, she's right there. So she's kind of like the third advisor here with us. So we're going to miss Amy, and we really appreciate everything you've done for us. Talawanda High School Administration, Mr. York, Molly Mers, and Chris Roten, we can't thank them enough for everything they do for us here in the building. Last week, Tom York came up to the state FFA convention to spend time with our students. So we, of course, recognized Emma and Emily as state officers, but he really enjoyed sitting there with the students, listening to the speakers, getting to be with them. And so we greatly appreciate the time that they invest in our students, helping with officer interviews or just whatever it takes. So we greatly appreciate them. Our alumni, you guys are tops, the best. And so letting us know about the latest and the greatest that's coming out, supporting us through the consignment auction, because we wouldn't have some scholarships tonight for the seniors without that consignment auction. So thank you if you consign, thank you if you purchase. We greatly appreciate everything that you do for us. Brenda Wright, part of these state CDEs is before we go anywhere, they have to take a state test. And so the state test has to be administered by someone else other than the FFA advisor in the school. And so that's Brenda Wright. So she's not only an awesome alumni member, but she also administers all of those tests. We had, of course, the snow during spring break, so that moved a date, and she was willing to be flexible and come in on the, her spring break and administer those tests. So we greatly appreciate everything you do for us, Brenda. The next thing is we started a couple years ago, the seed auction. And I know we have a lot of the donors and we have a lot of the buyers in the auction tonight. So we would not be able to put on a banquet like this, give awards, have a meal for our guests without the seed auction donors, the dealers, all of the ag businesses that set up in the hallway, and it keeps growing every year. So we greatly appreciate whether you take part as a buyer or a donor. Thank you very much. And then lastly, our families. I know there's many times I tell Eric, well, I'll be home about 11, or we're traveling again, or whatever, but this past year I had the opportunity to travel to Washington, D.C., Boston, Wisconsin. These kids are awesome. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to travel with these kids. And to Mike, thank you for being a great partner.
Oh, that's nice. Give her that's Very cool. For 7 years now, I've been able to give a speech like this. Keeps getting shorter and shorter, so that's okay. I try to gauge a good banquet day on, do I have to run anywhere? Because I'm usually, we do a breakfast. What time were we at breakfast this morning? 7:30. Who's counting? Right, 7:30. I gauge the day if I don't have to run anywhere in between our dry run-through. We got done with the run-through a little after lunch today. If I don't have to go anywhere, it was probably pretty good. We had everything right. These kids did a fantastic job. By the way, this is the first time you've seen Carrie and I, right? The entire banquet's been run by these people here, and then 7 new incoming chapter officers. How many groups can do this, folks? This is a pretty good group, led by this group up here. Let's give them a round of applause since we're doing that. Very good. So we had everything ready. Eliza Jones has done a real nice job in the back. These guys have made this front look fantastic and sound fantastic. I forgot to pack pants, so I had to go to Walmart. Really, a couple hours ago I was at Walmart. So I'm sitting there at Walmart in my, we dress in pajamas for some reason, in breakfast. So I'm in my dress shoes, and I'm in my, I have Cincinnati Reds, like really obnoxious sleeping pants. And, people of Walmart, right? I was one of those today, for real. And these pants were on clearance for $11, and they feel like they're $11 pants. So it's been pretty good. And I thought to myself driving back, and I'm trying to think, is there anything else that we need? No, there really is nothing else that we need. We're getting taken care of. Okay, Carrie and I look good, and we have pretty good leadership skills between the two of us. We surround ourselves with people that are experts at things. An ag teacher, we're supposed to know a whole lot, or we're supposed to know a whole little about a whole lot. We know basics of literally everything in America's largest industry. And that wouldn't be possible without this community and without this administration, without the experts, the alumni, those of you that are sitting in the room, the parents. Parents, we had a lot of stuff. If you want to get involved in something, we'd love to rope you in and help out with one of these judging teams. You recent graduates, you seniors that are about to graduate, can I have the seniors go ahead and stand up? You guys up there too. Can I get the house lights, Chris? Thank you. These people are going to be fantastic alumni soon, hopefully. Hopefully some of these folks are going to come back and help coach some judging teams in a couple years, especially some of you that are really fantastic at certain things. But it's important that you find a home in the ag department, whether you are on a judging team or just a fun kid in class. What's cool about what we do is that hopefully if you find a home here. If you, at the very least, hopefully these seniors that are standing can impart some wisdom on this really awesome group of freshmen, which we're going to bring up some really cool freshmen here shortly. If they can impart some wisdom on the freshmen, hopefully, I heard a really good practice retiring address here that you'll hear in just a second. Hopefully this is one of the reasons why you come to school. I am in awe of each senior class every year. And this year really is no different. These guys are fantastic in their own special way. Some of them are going off other parts of the world. Some of them are staying locally. They are all going to do something really cool with their life. And I hope that when they look back on their 2018 graduation year, they think of the ag department. Thank you, seniors. Let's give these guys a round of applause. Thank you, Allison and my family. They're running around back there somewhere. I've got a couple daughters running around. I can't wait until, Miranda's 5. She's going on like 30, and I can't wait to see her in a jacket. When she was born, actually, Emma Sturworth is out there somewhere. She made that little bow for Miranda that's in her hair, and it's almost 6 years later, so that's pretty cool. It's amazing how time flies. I never thought I'd even be doing this for 11 years, let alone the past 7 at Talawanda in a community that's so just so awesome. I wish you guys would go other places than see just how special and how awesome this is. A lot of you guys in high school, can't wait to get out of here. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm a big Office fan. Andy Bernard says on the last episode, I wish someone would have told me that I was in the good old days before I left them. So, current sophomores and juniors and freshmen, please take advantage of opportunities. I beg of you. Mrs. Roberts, we beg of you. And parents, hopefully you can encourage some kiddos. And thanks to the parents for sharing your students or your kids, our students. It's no easy task. It's financially, sometimes it gets tough financially, and sometimes it definitely gets tough with regards to time. The most important thing you can give to someone is your time. And it takes a lot of time sometimes to be a success in this organization. Speaking of successes in this organization, we do have some outstanding green hands. Chris, if you want to go and go to the next one. Excellent. We'll go and bring up our 6 outstanding green hands. Can I have Lane, in no particular order, can I have Lane Schwab, Kara McKinney, Hunter Brewer, Karina Morris, Sophia Thompson, and Austin Weekly? Up to the center of the stage, please. Again, names are up there. Should be a Lane Schwab, Kara McKinney, Hunter Brewer, Karina Morris, Sophia Thompson, and Austin Weekly. Now, let's go. Let's go. As is tradition, we will award all 6 of them. We just pick a number 6. We have 6 freshmen, 6 sophomores, 6 juniors, and 6 seniors that we're about to bring up to the stage as our outstanding students. Now, obviously, between numbers like 5 through like 15, we're really grasping at straws, and hopefully we understand that. The most consistent kids throughout the entire year are probably in front of us at this time. Please step forward when your name is called, 9th graders. Lane Schwab. He's a great kid that is always willing to help out. He has grown as a leader this past year and was a great addition to the Green Hand Officer team, as well as FFA basketball. Do that Lane Frost thing again. That's pretty good. That's good. And he was really good with the middle school Aggies Club, the 8th grade Aggies Club, or Young Ag Professionals, or whatever Eric and, whatever that's called. Whatever that's called, it was outstanding, and Lane did a really nice job with that. Congratulations, Lane. Kiara McKinney is a future leader in this chapter. I can unequivocally say that, and her what she did today is no denying that. In this chapter that keeps a level head and is always willing to try new things. She was great as a Green Hand officer and was on the parliamentary procedure team. Kiara has no problem stepping out of her comfort zone. I look forward to seeing her on this stage frequently for the next couple years. Great job, Miss McKinney. Hunter Brewer was active the entire year and really never found anything that he didn't want to have his hands in whether it was soils or parliamentary procedure or landscaping or serving as the Green Hand vice president. He had the most FFA activities of the most active Green Hand team. We talked about the Blue Warrior team earlier. Hunter led that team with the most X's, so congratulations, Hunter. Karina Morris was also extremely active this year and was a pretty fun kid on the FFA basketball team. She tried really hard. And she was a staple on the Green Hand parliamentary procedure team as well. I really like seeing her in class. She's a great role model in class. I like how her effort shines in everything that she does. And she'll be a big part in this chapter in years to come. Congratulations, Ms. Morris. Our two star Green Hands are going to be Sophia Thompson and Austin Weekly, if you guys can step forward. Sophia Thompson was our top scorer at the Green Hand Quiz, Food Science, and one of the tops in nature judging this year. She's a natural leader by example for her peers and is a surefire future star in this chapter with blue banners in her name in the future. Easy decision here. Sophia, if you see her in fourth period, she's fantastic with all of her classmates. I welcome the privilege to be her advisor for the next couple years. Congratulations, Sophia. Austin Weekly, help lead the Green... See, if you keep going, then they don't clap. You know, that's how we speed some time up for the banquet. Austin Weekly helped lead the Green Hand officer team as their president and was a part of the team that finished first in fundraising. It's not always about numbers. It is about how you treat other people. And I really respect how Austin Weekly treats other people. He's a fantastic role model in class, and he's going to be a big star in this chapter as well, as is tradition for his family. Congratulations to all 6 of these outstanding Green Hand winners in our Steve Chapter Green Hand.
If I could have the following sophomores onto the stage: Justin Beckner, Casey Kondo, Eliza Jones, Grace Suit, Dalton Schlichter, and Peyton Weekly. I've really enjoyed this group this year. Mike said last year, wait till you have this group, they're awesome, and he's right, and plus more. If you've not stopped by the greenhouse this year, all the plants up here are ones they've grown, they've wintered over, some are from last year plants, but they do a great job, and I've really enjoyed their work ethic this year and everything they've done, whether it's in the class or competing in FFA. So Dalton Schlichter. Dalton was really instrumental this year. He kind of latched onto the hydroponic system. They've been growing lots of herbs. So if you need some basil, stop at the greenhouse because they've got it growing. And so he's done really well in the greenhouse. And what I love about the greenhouse is when we go out there, they just start working. First period just knows what to do. They go at it. They're checking things. They're looking at monitors. They're clipping. They're checking for pests and diseases. And Dalton's been instrumental in that with many of his classmates. He works very hard. He's dedicated to his swine SAEs, whether it's placement at Schwab Family Farm or raising his own swine. Grace Suit. Grace is excellent in the CDEs that she participates in. She's a leader in our fundraisers. She's an integral part of the food science team, the Parley, our ag sales. Ag sales this year, first time to state ever in Talawanda history, and they placed 10th. And so it was a team of all sophomores, and we're really excited to see what they do next year. And we greatly appreciate everything that Grace gives to this organization. Peyton Weekly. He was also on the top fundraiser team with Dalton and his brother. And he is, 7th period, when we go out in the greenhouse, he is one of the last kids to leave. He's walking out the door with me, shutting the doors, everything else we need. He understands that things need to be tidied up, cleaned up. Just awesome student in the classroom, greenhouse, wherever we need to go. And I greatly appreciate everything he does on his CDEs, as well as his commitment to agriculture, because he's all about, you know, got to get home, got to get in that tractor. So I apologize to everybody tonight who would rather need to be in a tractor. We know that we are missing some people because of that desire and commitment, and I appreciate that out of Peyton. Eliza Jones. Eliza has served as one of our greenhouse managers this year. We had 3, Hannah Lightfield, Eliza Jones, and Justin Beckner. And she kind of had an interest in vermiculture. And so she said, I would love to join the vermiculture and start it up. Well, Mrs. Claywell found some grant money for us, and we were able to buy a brand new aquaponic system where we raised tilapia fish this year. And then we had 3 different bays. One was a deep water culture, and 2 were media beds. And so Eliza thought, well, let's try something else. Let's try some vermiculture. So between her and Casey Kondo, they've been going to the school cafeteria just about every day, collecting some of the waste from the food that they prepare for the salad bar or the fruits and vegetable station. And so they've been composting scraps from the school cafeteria, anything that's not meat or milk, and that has been heavily led by Eliza. She presented this at our Ag Day program, and I've been really excited to see what she's doing in the greenhouse with her other classmates as well. She's very successful in many CDEs. So congratulations to Eliza. Our star sophomores this year are Casey Kondo and Justin Beckner. This year, we usually don't have the sophomores fill out a star application. But like I said, Mike said, this crew coming is really good. And so we developed a committee to select us, for these students based on the applications they fill out. And so back in March, we gave these applications out to all the classes and said, fill these out, these green papers, turn them back in. What would you like to be eligible for? Tell us your story about what you've done in FFA this year. And so Casey and Justin did just that. Casey's worked very hard this year. You've seen her on stage a lot for CDE recognition. She completes excellent work in the greenhouse, and she's always wanting to do more. What if I brought this in? Could we try this? And so she's always working and thinking, and if I'm in mid-thought, she will finish it out. And so I really appreciate all of her eagerness that she has in the greenhouse. She's got a very solid SAE plan, and like I said before, she's very active in CDEs and is an excellent FFA leader. So Casey Kondo. Justin Beckner, he has served as one of our greenhouse managers this year, like I said before, with Eliza and Hannah. Aquaponics has kind of been his thing, and so this summer I called those three in. I said, okay, the system's here, we need to put it together. And so every day before school, he goes out and checks it. Most days we go out in the greenhouse, but we got to get a lot of stuff done in the room as well. And so he's out there before school, he's stopping in after school, making sure the water level's right, the parts per million, the pH, everything for the fish, and that's been a big learning experience this year. And we've had some troubles, and so he's done well problem shooting those troubles, and we've taken a field trip to a guy in Beaver Creek because we said, what are we doing wrong? And he said, don't worry, I've done the same thing, and this is what I felt that has worked well. So the sophomore class is solid all the way through. I appreciate everything they do, and he's given 110% to the CDEs that he's participated in, as 3 of them were in the top 10 this year in the state of Ohio. So congratulations to all of our star sophomores today.
Juniors, Matthew Butterfield, Lexi Durbin, Allie Gentry, Colleen Mingus, Rachel Tussey, Kendall P. Haven. To the stadium, please. To the stage. Stage, please. Stadium, I said stadium. Perfect. Hey, hi. It's the little things like coming up from the same spot, standing where you're supposed to be. Really good looking banquet, guys. Go to other banquets. We got a really good thing going. Hey, please step forward when your name is called. Matthew Butterfield had a great junior year that started off winning the Ohio State Fair Market Barrow Show. I don't know if you heard about that. Hard to top that. He was an active FFA camper, state soils member, landscaping team member, and FFA basketball. He tried really hard in basketball too. We have there's about 3 kids, Chris Cobb and someone else that scores all the points. His leadership has grown exponentially in all seriousness, and his peers have elected him. Didn't see that coming a couple years ago, but he is the right man for the job to lead this chapter moving forward in about 30 minutes at the conclusion of today's banquet. Congratulations, Mr. Butterfield. Lexi Durbin, please step forward. There's always a surprise or two when you see officer applications come across your desk. Freshman year Lexi Durbin is not one that I would have thought to be a chapter officer candidate, let alone be our incoming chapter secretary here in about 30 minutes. Lexi Durbin, for whatever reason, turned it on this year and has been a fantastic upperclassman and is going to be a fantastic senior for this program. Congratulations, Ms. Durbin. Allie Gentry, equine awards aside, and there are a lot of them. Allie is a constant positive influence in class and in all of her activities. She will also be a fantastic senior member moving forward. Allie's really good at doing one task really well. If you give Allie a job, she will get that done, and I appreciate that from her. Congratulations, Ms. Gentry. Colleen Mingus will serve the upcoming team as chapter reporter, which is a behind-the-scenes job. Granted, chapter reporter is behind the scenes. There's nothing behind the scenes about Colleen Mingus. She's our chapter star in entrepreneurship this upcoming year, or actually a little bit ago, a state degree winner, and a force to be reckoned with in career development events. Colleen doesn't lose at things, and that's really, really cool to see. She tries really hard at everything, and she's really successful. And this upcoming year, she's going to motivate her team and other CDEs that she does very well. We expect big things from Miss Mingus, and she will not disappoint in this upcoming year. Congratulations, Colleen. Our Star Chapter Juniors, if you can step forward, are Rachel Tussey and Kendall P. Haven. Rachel Tussey had a fantastic attitude about, you can clap for these two, that's pretty good, that's pretty good. Rachel, I'd like to note, I did beat Rachel Tussey in a 40-yard dash a couple days ago. I beat her by almost 3 full steps. I'm confident in these pants I could beat you in 2 full steps. She has a fantastic attitude about everything. It'll be a fantastic treasurer-elect. She truly will. Rachel is a natural leader in class, and Rachel's not one of those upfront leaders. She's a giggly person, but she really does get the job done. Rachel Tussey, if you're a freshman or sophomore in this program, underclassmen, if you're looking to see a good example of how this chapter is supposed to look and how an individual is supposed to handle business, Rachel Tussey is a really good example. Congratulations, young lady. You'll be a fantastic incoming chapter officer. Kendall Haven is a gold-rated treasurer, a state degree winner, a national competition participant, and a complete Spitfire. There is more potential in this one than literally in any FFA member I've ever worked with. I mean that sincerely. She's had a fantastic junior year and will be a dynamic senior. Congratulations to Kendall Haven and to Rachel Tussey, our star chapter juniors, and all of our outstanding juniors.
We could have the following seniors come forward: Wally Mingus, Caroline Vonderhaar, Tony Zuban, Ben Eichler, Emily Jones, and Katie Tilford. One thing when I started looking at these names, they will help us out in a pinch. I actually called Tony last night about something, and he was at school in 20 minutes, and so, but that's all of them. And they're great workers. They give us 110%. They are going to do great things, whether they're going to college or in the Marines, because that's where Ben is headed. So thank you, Ben, for your service. And we are very excited for what is ahead for them. So Tony Zuban. Tony is a state degree recipient last year. He's very motivated, has lots of energy. He's very competitive in the meats, parley, and livestock judging teams, which you've seen him up here multiple times, as well as he fundraises great for our organization. Ben Eichler. Ben traveled to Washington Leadership Conference with me last summer, as well as Eric and Tony, and we had a great time. And there were some pictures up here with Ann Knapke when we visited her, the Senate building, and they were great to travel with. He came up with a great Living to Serve plan. He is just a genuinely nice young man, and he always gives us 110%. He was part of our Ag Day program this year and loved working with the 4th graders in our school district. Emily Jones, she takes a lot of pride in her beef cattle projects, SAEs. She's on our livestock judging team. She, like we've heard before, she was a grand showman, a showman last summer, and we're really excited with what Emily is doing, and once again, she was an Ag Day presenter leader for us this year in our program. And Katie Tilford. Katie's been on multiple CDEs such as dairy and forestry, along with Austin Lake and Tori Lightfield this year. They came up to me back in September when Hurricane Harvey came through, and they said, we want to do something, what can we do? I said, well, organize a drive. And so those 3 came together. They made a video, they shared it to the FFA chapters in the county to have like a challenge, and they were able to, we took a lot of donations to Matthew 25 Ministries because of the leadership behind Katie, Austin, and Tori. So I greatly appreciate that out of Katie. She also was in our state FFA band last year, as well as getting her state degree. So congratulations to Katie. Wally Mingus and Caroline Vonderhaar are going to be our star seniors. Wally has been a true privilege to work with for the past 3 years. I must say our trip to the World Beef Expo in Wisconsin was memorable, to say the least. It was a great trip, and we talked about visiting farms, so we drove up to Wisconsin. We went through Illinois to pick up Austin Garner, and that was just the greatest trip, to hear them chat in the back, and I really enjoyed that trip with those students and all the experience that they've had. He served as a chapter officer this year, as our secretary. He took the job serious, did a great job, and he also was gold-rated secretary in the state of Ohio. So congratulations and good luck to Wally. And Caroline Von der Haar. I really admire Caroline's drive and determination. She gives us 110% to her CDs and her events. She's always willing to help out someone in the FFA, and she definitely bleeds blue and gold. I appreciate having her in class. I missed having her this year. She took both of my upper level classes last year, and so I really missed having her and some of the other seniors this year. But great reporter, and she did an excellent job rating gold again at the state for her reporter book. So congratulations to our seniors.
I believe we're ready for the Heart and Spirit Awards, correct? Excellent. We started this, been about 5 or 6 or 7 years ago now. The requirements for the Heart and Spirit Award are pretty simple. It's a 4-year, got to be in the Ag Department for 4 years. We do hold this award in the highest regard. All awards are important. All awards are worthy of merit. The Heart and Spirit of the Chapter Award is fairly simple. The requirements are really simple. You need to be the person that is the face of the chapter, period. I don't know what that means. Hopefully a lot of our members know what that means. Hopefully a lot of our community members know what that means. When you think about one of the most successful programs in the state of Ohio, which we always have been, we will continue to be. Who is leading that chapter? It's not always a chapter officer. This year it happens to be 2 of them. It's not always the out front leader. It's not. It's the people that are the faces of the chapter. Easy decisions this year. Okay, if we can have Jake and Sarah to the front. In no particular order, Sarah Allen, not just the leadership awards, the public speaking, parliamentary procedure, all of that stuff. Sarah's not a traditional agricultural student. You're going to hear an outstanding retiring address here in just a little bit, putting her on the spot. But she is the poster child for what we hope this chapter is. And there's nothing wrong with the redneck farm boy. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a home for that kid here. Okay. Sarah Allen's contacts across the school district and how she handles her business are a model. They truly are. She's been impressive since her freshman year, and in this chapter, we'll sorely miss her. We truly will. Congratulations, Sarah Allen. Let's give her a round of applause. When you're talking awards alone, Jake is a pretty easy candidate for this award. If there were no competitions and there were no awards, Jake Schulte would still be doing the work that he has been doing the past year. Not a doubt in my mind. He's a leader both in and out of the program. How Jake conducts his business outside of school is exemplary. And I'm very proud of him as a young man, and I know his family is as well. He's developed into quite a young man, and it's one of those where you hope that the younger members see that. We can see, oh, he's that tall guy that, just kind of lumbers around the hallway. That's how Jake walks. He's kind of like that a little bit, but there's a lot more. There's a lot more to Jake Schulte than what meets the eye. I've done enough height jokes with some other kids, so we won't do that one. But sometimes it's hard to see him. But he really is a good person to watch, both in height and in how he conducts business. If you're a freshman or a sophomore or a junior in this chapter, I implore you and I beg of you to try to win this award when you're a senior. Congratulations to Jake and to Sarah and to all of our membership. Thank you. The last awards that Mrs. Roberts and I give are the Retiring Chapter Officer Awards. So go, all 7 of you, if you don't mind, hopping up there. While they're coming up there, the largest applause we've heard thus far, because the entire banquet's ran because of these 7 people. Let them have it. Let them have it. We have talked quite extensively about all 7 of these people, so we'll just discuss their position and we'll discuss their retiring position, and we'll give each one an individual round of applause. Starting on the end there, we have our retiring sentinel, Miss Emily Jones. The sentinel's job is to order pizza for the meetings, but that's one of the main ones. Emily, towards the end of the year, she really got it and was a really good someone to count on. You can't quite always read Emily because she will complain about everything, but we could really count on her. We truly could. You're a really good senior this year, Miss Jones, and thank you for your service as a sentinel. Mr. Eric Glab is our retiring student advisor. As a student advisor, oh, applaud for that young man. That's right. Eric Glab was our Star Chapter Farmer. That's a pretty prestigious award. He was a state degree winner last year. He'll be an American degree winner here in a year or two, I'm sure of it. He was 3rd in the state for forage production. The kid knows what he's doing. He's a lot smarter. He's a ridiculously smart young man. He's someone that you want to partner with. And I'm excited to see how Eric develops as a young man and as an adult. There's a lot of good things coming his way. Congratulations, Eric, on your service as student advisor. I can't see because there's a tall guy in the way. Who is that? Oh, it's Wally Mingus. Oh, I knew that. Hey, Wally's our retiring secretary. I did that on purpose. Wally's outstanding. As mentioned earlier in the script, a gold-rated secretary is nothing to sneeze at. Not every secretary in the state gets that award. Wally's records were pretty spotless. Wasn't always done exactly on time, but it was done correctly, and it was done well. Wally did take his position very seriously. He was a fine senior this year. I'm really proud of you, Wally. He did a fantastic job, and he was an Ag Ball all-star. He was like 3 for 80 from the three-point line, so that's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. We can skip Jake for right now. We'll put him at the end, I think. We'll put Miss Caroline Vonder will be next as our retiring chapter reporter, a gold-rated reporter. I firmly believe that the reporter's book is the hardest of the 3 because of the amount of time that it takes. And we've had gold-rated books in the past. The reporter is the toughest of the 3 until Ohio FFA changes things again, which I'm sure will be happening soon. Caroline took a lot of pictures. She did a lot of scrapbooking. She did a lot of newspaper articles. She did a lot of every 9 weeks we sent out a newsletter. A lot of good stuff there. She did most of it by herself. I know she had a lot of help from her classmates and a lot of help at home too. Caroline is someone that I've watched from afar, being a Preble County person. I'm real pleased with how she's developing, and I'm excited to see where the future takes her. And she's one of those that you want to partner with as well, because there's a lot of good ideas up there, and you kind of want to be there when all that happens. So congratulations, Caroline, on your retiring chapter reporter. Kendall Haven is a gold-rated treasurer. She's a fantastic individual. We've talked ad nauseum about how great she is. Just ask her. She'll tell you how great she is. She's a fantastic individual. She'll be a great senior for us this upcoming year. Congratulations on your retiring treasurer award. By the way, the chapter officer orders are on back order, so they get really nice plaques. Mr. Roberts did a nice job of punting here, but she has a really nice, they all have really nice certificates, as well as what they're going to get in a bag that might be happening in just a little bit. You'll understand once you put 2 and 2 together. So I'm very pleased with that. Sarah Allen, we just talked about Sarah. She's retiring vice president. Vice president is stationed by the plow, which is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. Sarah works. She really does. I don't like seniors sometimes because I don't do seniority very well. It's just how, I don't know, it's how I was raised. But Sarah's fantastic when she is on, and there really is no equal in this chapter, and I'd venture to say in this school. When something needs done and she's motivated, I would put her up against anybody that I know, quite honestly. She's a fantastic young lady, and I'm excited to see where the future takes her. Your retiring vice president is Sarah Allen. Okay, I think that's all of our awards, Mr. Roberts. We are all... Hey, Jake, step forward. You did a good job. Jake's our 61st Talawanda FFA president. In your program, we do have a list of chapter presidents. It's not about the title. I tell these kiddos that from day one. When you run for office, in my first job, I had kids that were like, if I don't get president, I'm not going to be in office. That is like the worst possible thing you could possibly say. Jake could have been, second vice president-elect to the Sentinel, and he would have worked his butt off. It doesn't matter. Jake was the right person to lead this team this year. I'm extremely proud of him. We spend a little bit extra money on a really nice plaque. These folks are going to be in the program for forever. Jake can bring his grandkids to this banquet and take a look at the program and point to 2017 as when he was elected chapter president. So we like to spend a little bit of juice on that plaque. Your retiring president, my friends, Jake Schulte. And we're also giving them some presents that they can open at their leisure. We don't need to do that right now. So let's give these guys one more round of applause as they install some new officers.
Hold on. Before we get started with our addresses, our team has prepared 2 more awards this evening. Can we have Mr. Mike Derringer and Mrs. Carrie Roberts to the stage at this time? When you're ready. There you go. Walk up on stage. We can't leave tonight without thanking our ag advisors. Both of you have continued until the last minute to help and support us in all of our endeavors. We cannot put into words how much it means for the 2 of you every day to walk into our school and to push us to do our very best. We understand that we are just one more officer team and that we're just a stepping stone in the history and the success of our chapter. But we look to the future and we know the Talawanda FFA chapter, we know the future looks bright because of Talawanda FFA, because we have the 2 best officers in the entire, we have the 2 best ag advisors in this entire organization, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so we're going to start the retiring addresses, and I'm the first one to go. Just saying. Before I actually walked out here tonight, I was told there was a time limit to how long the speech could be. We'll see if I actually stay in that time limit. First, I'd like to thank my parents for dealing with my craziness over the past 3 years of high school. Even though I've had them up before the crack of dawn to put me on an airplane so that I am able to go speak at the Big E, to picking me up past midnight, and to lastly, never letting anything hold me back from getting what I dreamed of. I'd also like to apologize to my mother. Don't worry, I'll pay for those gray roots to get touched up. And to my dad, I wish I could take you to get your receding hairline fixed because I know I'm the cause of it. But all jokes aside, I am thankful for everything that you've done for me, and I love you guys very much. I'd also like to thank my advisors for always pushing me as far as I could go, from standing on tables to tables being flipped over. I think I have the room to say that they are crazy, but very loving advisors. I couldn't imagine having any other advisors or adults standing by my side past my 3 high school years. This year, serving as an officer has been a little bit of a roller coaster. We've had our ups, which consisted of Emily cuddling with me every time we'd go take a trip. And also, thanks to Eric for many rides to and from FFA meetings. My favorite thing about these rides home were trying to figure out what the meeting had just been about because we never paid attention. We've also had our downs, which were basically when Jake got the aux controlling the music selection. Oh, and the one time he took us to Burger King. Shout out to Sarah for making memories at public speaking and Parley Pro practices and contests. These are memories that I will never forget. In the end, I wouldn't want to give up this year that I've had with my fellow officers, even though they will be graduating in the next few weeks. It's a hard goodbye to say, but I know they are ready for their next adventure in their life. Thank you for letting me serve you as the Talawanda Butler Tech FFA Chapter Treasurer.
All right, here's my address. It might be kind of long, but here it goes. First of all, I want to thank all of you for coming out here tonight. As graduation becomes a reality, I often wonder, why do we have to grow up so fast? I have to say, these 4 years have gone by way too fast. It felt like yesterday when I was a freshman sitting in the crowd listening to Luke Woodruff give his speech. In the blink of an eye, here I'm giving my goodbye speech to those whom I may never see again as we go our chosen path in life. Anyway, I want to start by thanking all my family for making me the person I am today. I want to thank my mom, Sarah, for being the kind, loving, dedicated lady that she is. She always seems to know what to do if something is wrong and manages to stay positive. Thank you for taking time to teach me what a good person's character should be and giving me life. I enjoy talking to you when you're making dinner or when you go on walks in the woods or something like that. It's the little things that count. I want to thank my dad, Tim, for teaching me to be hands-on and self-reliant. Thank you for pushing me to do things the best I can and guiding me in the right path. You're a jack of all trades, and I wish I could know half of the stuff that you know about fixing cars, tractors, motors, or really anything, because you really can fix anything, seems like. I enjoy hanging out with you in the barn, working on stuff, and talking about how our day went. I want to thank my older brothers, Cody and Justin, for always including me in whatever they did while growing up when they were with their friends. These activities included playing video games in the PlayStation 2, riding four-wheelers, shooting stuff, and blaring the stereo, which I'm pretty sure blew a speaker. You guys are awesome, and I still look up to you today, even though you picked on me at times. Both of your involvement in FFA inspired me to be the active member that I am. I'm so thankful for that inspiration. Not to get emotional, I love you guys. I want to thank my advisors, Mr. Derringer and Mrs. Roberts, for making my involvement in this chapter possible. I appreciate the time that you put in this chapter because I understand that this chapter takes a lot of time away from you and your family, which is always difficult. Your devotion to this chapter is the reason for its success. I've learned so much from both of you: leadership, composition, interacting with my peers, and preparing for my future. You guys are more influential to me than you realize. I want to thank my officer team. It's been an honor serving with you guys all over the course of this year. Jake the Snake, you are a great leader, and I enjoy the nights we pulled off, the all-nighters we pulled off, where we talk about anything and everything. You'll do awesome in your future. Kendall, so the most unexpected things come out of your mouth, which always lightens up the mood, and you're a great neighbor. Good luck in life, and enjoy your senior year because it goes by way too fast. Sarah, when we first started our term, I wondered how we were going to get along, but the more we worked together, I've come to appreciate our differences, and I enjoy your company. and I think you'll go far in life. Wally, I've known you since kindergarten, man, and I'll never forget the time we play PlayStation 2 games, and you still talk about it to this today. You still talk about it, and, oh, sorry. You, Tony, and I were the three musketeers in the playground at Marshall Elementary. I'm pretty sure we came in with mulch stains on our clothes every day from recess. I'll miss the time spent with you, and I wish you the best. Caroline, you're the life of the party in a good way. I enjoy the good times we share in class and thought it was awesome the time you saved the chapter camera from the jaws of death in Lake Erie, which led to bragging rights and one heck of a bruise. I wish you the best of luck in your future. Emily, I've enjoyed getting to know you over the past couple of years, and I find it hard not to laugh at some of the hysterical things you come up with. I remember the morning we were making biscuits and gravy for the officer team during officer retreat, which turned out to be a success, even though I tried to open up the can of biscuits by slamming it on the table. Good luck in your future. I will miss the time spent with all of you guys, and I won't forget about those experiences. I wish the best of luck to the upcoming officer team, whom are an extraordinary group of people. I advise you guys not to give up because the outcome will be great, and learn to manage your time. I know you will all do well this upcoming year, and you should feel proud to be serving this great chapter. I will miss my fellow chapter members, underclassmen and upperclassmen, who I've made many friends with over the past few years. I'm sad to leave this great school who has shaped me as the person I am today. All my experiences will not be forgotten after I've left this behind. I apologize for making this too long if I have. God bless all of you and have a safe trip home.
Throughout the past 4 years of the FFA, I have been given countless opportunities to grow. I've learned many life lessons. For instance, in high school, you'll never see some of the people again after you start. Make memories. Don't let time go to waste. You're going to regret not making memories. Make them good or bad, most of them good. Please try. There are always people you want to thank, so right now I'd like to try to do that. Mom, thanks for always pushing me to always do my best. And for kicking me in the butt sometimes even when I don't want to try. Dad, thanks for always teaching me countless life lessons and for always being someone who can always count on to talk to. And for my FFA advisors, Mike Derringer and Mrs. Roberts, for always pushing me to do my best and always being ready, for always pushing me even when I'm ready to give up. I know, and you know that I have not got the job done, and for always giving me advice, and for always challenging me to reach my potential. My officer team, thanks for making my senior year the best one in all my high school. And last, but certainly not least, Colleen, thanks for always putting up with my crap. Thanks for always covering for me when I always had emergency officer stuff. You've always pushed me in the cattle barn to always do my best. And Mr. D said it best, you hate to lose, and you always hate to see our family lose. You always push me the hardest in the barn, and that is where I get a lot of my success from. I cannot repay you for all the help you've given me.
Before I start, I'd like to say I'm sorry for this hot mess for two reasons. I have to pee really bad, and I'm most likely going to cry and not get through it. Looking back at the past 4 years, I've grown as a person, leader, and have broadened my horizons for agriculture. When I first came to Talawanda as a freshman year, I was scared and nervous, not knowing anyone. But after my first couple weeks in FFA, I knew that the members in this organization would soon become my family. The 6 other officers on my team have become my brothers and sisters. We have great times like when we are, like when trying to push Wally into the lake because he can't swim, but instead, while trying to take a picture of it, I fell in with the chapter camera. Last but not least, I would like to thank my parents for pushing me to try new things, my brothers for encouraging me to join FFA, and my advisors for encouraging me to achieve my goals. Thank you.
So, I'd first like to start off by thanking my parents, brother, and sister. They've always been my biggest supporters, and without family, you have literally nothing. I especially want to thank my brother for really pushing me to get involved with things. I wasn't even going to try and become an officer, but then when my brother sat me down and talked to me about it, and he's like, listen, like this, you're going to regret this if you don't. So I decided to, and I now realize that he was right. These other six, or the six other ones, the six other ones, you know, they've become like brothers and sisters to me, whether it's watching Carol fall into the lake with the chapter camera, or just, you know, chilling with Sarah, talking late at night, or just cuddling with Kendall because you're so cold and you don't have enough blankets. But I also want to thank my advisors for just being there and always pushing me to do my best. Thank you.
As most of you know, my attendance for school was subpar up to this year. I'd miss 11 or 12-ish days a year, and I was completely fine with it. You'd probably had heard the rumor last year that I had truancy, but luckily enough, it never came to that. Junior year, Mr. D pulled me into his office to say that if I wanted to become an officer, that I actually had to come to school. As you can imagine, my attendance went up tenfold. The FFA has been the only reason I've wanted to come to school in the past 4 years. This program is not just for kids who have been raised on a farm, or that show at the county fair each year, or even the kids with grandpa's livestock. It's for anyone who has the passion and drive to take control of their life. This program has not only taken me to different parts of the country, but has introduced me to some of the most wonderful and influential people. Mr. D and Ms. Roberts do not get nearly enough credit for the ridiculous amount of work and effort that they put into this program to make it what it is today. I would truly like to thank them for everything that they have done for me. In the past 4 years, whether it was late nights going over a speech for the 1000th time, or taking a week away from their families to go to WLC or FFA camp, they have lost countless of hours of sleep that I would never be able to live without. And I'm truly grateful for that. I would also like to thank my personal ATM, my father, Troy Allen. The money really starts to rack up when you're an involved member. The trips we've taken have truly been one of my favorite parts of this organization. You go in all wide-eyed and excited for what's to come, but you leave looking like you've been hit by a Mack truck. You feel like you've never slept a day in your life, and you know each other just a little too well. With that being said, I've had some of the best times of my life. There is a saying that I'm not too busy for FFA, I'm busy because of FFA. Thank you to everyone who has helped me and who has made the FFA the best part of my days. Thank you.
It's upside down. Ladies and gentlemen, I too am going to talk about Caroline Vonderhaar dropping a camera into the Lake Erie. Fair warning. From green hand to graduating senior, my time in this chapter has been an amazing experience, and one that I wouldn't have traded for anything. There's been many people who have truly impacted me throughout this time that I would like to thank. To my family, Mom and Dad, I love you. Thank you for everything you've done for me in the last few years. Even if I did some things you didn't fully agree with, like running for president, you have continued to support me in my decisions. I know it's been rough this last year, but through the good times and the bad, you still remain my biggest supporters, and it's hard to put that into words. Jeremy, I hope you know I wouldn't be standing up here tonight if you wouldn't encourage me to take ag class. Thank you for your support and advice over the years. Jordan, I look forward to seeing what the high school and the FFA has in store for you and your successes in it. To my officer team, or to better say my longtime friends, thank you for making this year amazing, and a year that I'm not going to forget. From our officer retreat with Carol almost losing the camera in the lake, and waking up in the morning to Eric pounding a roll of biscuits into the counter as hard as he can because he doesn't understand you have to unwrap them before you break them open. I knew right there we were going to have our ups and downs throughout the year, but in the end, I wouldn't have wanted to share this stage with anyone else in this chapter. To the boys and all my friends, thank you for being there. Whether you're a freshman sitting in the front row or watching this as a guest in the very back, believe it or not, every one of you, from my first day in high school to tonight, have really influenced me and have made my high school years remarkable. Mr. D and Ms. Roberts, you have been amazing ag advisors and mentors these past few years. And no, this isn't the whole cliche, President thanks ag advisors. You all really made an impact on me, and I wouldn't be the person I am today without you too. Troy Mavis, thank you for coaching me in both landscaping and ag ball. In 4 years of ag ball, I went from catching a basketball off my face to, still trying to play basketball. But just like I know how to. I've learned a lot over the years, not only about landscaping, but about myself as well. To the chapter, thank you not only for making this year one to remember, but showing me through the difficult times. I know I have 160 people that I can count on every day, even if most of you couldn't count on me to deliver the speech without crying. I hope you all have enjoyed this year as much as I have, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds for each and every one of you. I wouldn't be the person I am today without the FFA. I haven't learned so much and done so many things that there's no way I would be able to describe my high school career without mentioning the FFA. I know looking back, some people will say they have decisions they regret making in their youth, and I can't say I don't have my fair share. But not once will I ever regret my decisions or experiences in the FFA. Thank you. If the newly elected officers could join us on stage, we'll begin the 2018-2019 officer installation.
Eliza, as Sentinel-elect, your duties include welcoming our friends, caring for the meeting rooms and FFA equipment, and providing the comfort of our members and guests. It is also your duty to assist in conducting meetings and ceremonies.
Dakota, as student advisor-elect, your duty is to keep an active chapter, consistently pushing your fellow members to participate and excel in FFA activities throughout the year. Though your work will be challenging, the fruits of your labor will show.
Lexi, as secretary-elect, you have been chosen to keep accurate minutes of our meetings and to carry on the chapter correspondence. You will continue to provide the chapter with the order of business and committee assignments for each meeting. You will also keep a list of members, a record of degrees awarded, and have custody of the Constitution and bylaws.
Matt, as president-elect, you've been selected by your fellow members to be the leader of our chapter for the upcoming year. You are therefore responsible for guiding our chapter in all of its worthy undertakings. May you work intelligently and seriously to fulfill the responsibilities of your office. Congratulations, bud.
Colleen, as reporter-elect, your duty is to inform the people about the FFA. You are expected to work closely with the news media, including state and national FFA publications. You should keep a record of photographs and articles published concerning the FFA and its members, and you are responsible for compiling our FFA history.
Rachel, as treasurer-elect, you've been placed in a position of trust. Your duties require you to keep an accurate record of receipts and disbursements and to provide regular financial reports. It is also your responsibility to assist in developing the chapter budget and maintain sound financial practices. Congratulations.
Vice President-elect, your record of accomplishments indicates you have those qualities of leadership which we should all possess. You will assist the President in directing the work of our chapter, preside over meetings in his absence, and keep all committees working efficiently.
It's an honor to be an officer in the FFA. From time to time during the year, you may encounter difficult problems, but through cooperation, hard work, and dedication, you will succeed and the FFA will prosper. Do each of you accept the responsibilities of your office, and will you do your best to uphold the ideals and principles of the FFA? If so, answer, we do. We do. I now declare each of you properly and duly installed into the respective office of which you were elected. May your year of service be marked with integrity, dedication, and cooperative spirit. Seek harmony among your fellow officers and set high standards of leadership for all FFA members.
Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
Yes. As a reminder, we have to tear down the banquet hall at the conclusion of this banquet. The more people that help out, the faster it will go. Any alumni, parents, or students that would wish to help out, that would be greatly appreciated. We would also like to point out that there are 2 photo spots in the hallway and 1 up here on stage. We ask that all award winners tonight get their picture taken at any of the 3 spots. Lastly, we ask that all old and new officers stay at the stage for a brief meeting after the banquet. Thank you all for attending.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn this meeting of the Talawanda Butler Tech FFA chapter. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and, above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow FFA members and guests, please join me in the salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this meeting adjourned.